Ladies and gentlemen, I have dreaded making this video. As you can see, I have my Sacramento Kings gear on. I'm still repping. Before we start this video, don't get it twisted, damn it. The Sacramento Kings don't have a 2025 NBA draft pick this year in the first round. Okay, we have no first round pick this year. Our first round pick went to the Atlanta Hawks. So when we were watching the draft lottery, the Sacramento Kings fandom was hoping that 13th spot, when they called the name, it was anybody else other than the Atlanta Hawks. Because we then knew if there was anybody else other than the Atlanta Hawks, our pick was top 12 protected, we would get that pick. But instead, we got nothing. Okay, that's the first part about it. Secondly, we traded De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs, a team in which has 2 lottery picks this year at number 2 and 14. They can flip those picks. They can trade to get a good prominent piece. I think Giannis is out of the question now. Giannis just came out and said he wants to stay in the East, which is very smart. The Wild Wild West is Wild Wild West. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler was in the play-in this year. You dig what I'm saying? Ja Morant was in the play-in this year. You dig what I'm saying? Anthony Davis was in the play-in. Damn it. And the Sacramento Kings was in the play-in. Anyways. We traded De'Aaron Fox to a team that has 2 first rounders this year, right? So they can even get better through the draft, right? They're all pretty, they're a young team. If they draft like a Dylan Harper, the likes of Dylan Harper, De'Aaron, Stephon Castle, mixed with Wembanyama and whatever other piece they get, man, that could be kind of nasty in the long run if you really think about it. I think that could work in my personal opinion. You just bring one of the guys off the bench, one not being De'Aaron Fox. He's starting, but I think it'd be a phenomenal tandem. A 3-guard tandem right there would be freaking crazy. It kind of reminds me like OKC. They have the Shea, Jay Will, Lou Dort, but with Dylan Harper, with Stephon Castle, with De'Aaron Fox. You got some scoring, you got some defense, and you got some young legs right there. Anywho, moving forward. Secondly, we then trade, right? I'm going backwards in time. Tyrese Haliburton to the Indiana Pacers. They're literally in their second Eastern Conference Finals appearance. I don't think you guys understand what I just said. The Indiana Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals with Tyrese Haliburton. Slapping the face to Kings fandom once again. We traded Tyrese Haliburton and got Domantas Sabonis. Since we got Sabonis, we have been to 1 NBA playoffs and got kicked out the first round by a 50 ball by Steph Curry. Now, the Western Conference is stronger than the East, even though the Boston Celtics won the NBA Finals last year. That doesn't mean the Eastern Conference is a stronger conference. They just had one of the best teams in the league. But as a conference, it's not even questionable. The Western Conference is freaking loaded. Anywho, third, the team that we lost to in the play-in, by the way, is the same team that had a 1% chance at getting the number 1 pick, and they get the number 1 pick. Let's add insult to injury here, or assault to whatever you freaking call it. This same team we should have lost to in Dallas. We had a late game heroics, I think by DeMar DeRozan actually, ironically enough, and we won that game. Had we lost one more extra game, had we had one more loss on our record, because the play-in doesn't count towards the record, by the way. Just want to put that out there. Had we had one more loss to our name, we would have been in that top 4. We would have gotten a top 4 pick. Back to my other point. So you telling me a team that was in the play-in, fighting for the 8th seed, lost to the Memphis Grizzlies for that 8th seed, gets the number 1 pick, gets Cooper Flag. And you telling me you don't smell nothing fishy? I trade Luka Doncic to Los Angeles, California. And I am rewarded with the number 1 draft pick in Cooper Flag? Are you shitting me? Nico Harrison gets all the ridicule, and he gets the number 1 pick the same year. Adding more insults to injury, if that's the correct term. The team that we lost to in the play-in gets the number 1 pick just 3 weeks later. We played them about 3 weeks ago, if you don't remember. But 3 weeks later, they won the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Now back to my Sacramento Kings, okay? We traded Davion Mitchell, okay? We traded Kevin Huerter, okay? But the De'Aaron Fox trade really kind of was questionable because the picks that we got were kind of odd. And we didn't get a Stephon Castle in return. We literally gave them De'Aaron Fox pretty much for nothing. Now we're in public talking about, the Sacramento Kings are shopping around DeMar DeRozan. You know, I'm not super opposed to it. DeMar played pretty solid for us this year. But what are we going to get for DeMar DeRozan? Knowing my Sacramento Kings, the Sacramento Kings are going to trade DeMar DeRozan for Blake Griffin. The Sacramento Kings are trading DeMar DeRozan for Paul Pierce. The Sacramento Kings damn near finna trade DeMar DeRozan for Julius Erving. And the reason why I say that, because we do not have the best track record in terms of making moves. Did we not forget we had Jalen McDaniels before the season? I want to say he was in one of the trades. And then we waived him before season started. So you telling me we lose De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Haliburton, Davion Mitchell, Kevin Huerter. And in return, we get Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan as a bonus. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine didn't work in Chicago, in the East, a weaker conference. And you thought running it back in the Wild West was going to be something special? You basically replace a bonus with Vucevic. And we lose two two franchise PGs in Tyrese Haliburton and De'Aaron Fox, and we get like no PG back. I really feel bad for Malik Monk. He re-signed here. And I mean, he re-signs, and then we just make all these roster moves, and I just don't know how we can recover from this. I'm sitting there in my living room on that draft lottery. My dumbass forgot that at the 13th pick, if the Hawks get called, we get no pick. So when the Hawks got called, I forgot in a moment. I'm sitting there cheering, we top 12. And it goes 12, 11, gets to 8, 7. I'm like, nigga, we top 4. The top 4 teams was announced, and I said, it wasn't the Sacramento Kings. I'm sitting there, I'm befuddled. I said, wait a minute. Where the hell's the Sacramento Kings? And then I went back and looked at the order. I was like, oh my gosh, the Hawks got the 13th pick. We had a higher percentage getting that top 4 than the Mavs did getting number 1 pick, and we didn't even get a pick, my nigga. This has been decades of turmoil. 1 playoff appearance since 2006. It is 2025. Do the math. Do the math. And one of the picks I think we got from San Antonio Spurs, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hot, is a pick swap or something protected. If you're going to trade DeMar DeRozan, try to get some draft capital, please. Please. And if we're going to construct a roster around Sabonis, a Malik Monk, which I'm not mad at, and Zach LaVine, can we get a prominent big that we can play with Domantas Sabonis? Because switching out Valanciunas for Sabonis is not cutting it for us. Long term. And the reason why I say it, you see 2 big lines. You see a Jared Allen, you see an Evan Mobley. You see a Steven Adams, you see an Alperen Şengün. For Sacramento Kings, our two-man big man lineup is Domantas Sabonis. And damn it, Keegan Murray. We go Malik Monk, DeRozan, LaVine, Keegan, Sabonis. We can't go nowhere in the West. This is me being honest with Sabonis at the 5. He's going to have to play the 4. We need someone else to play the 5 so Sabonis can do his thing on that DHO on the perimeter. We cannot. OKC, Chet Holmgren, and then who they get? Isaiah Hartenstein. We got Valanciunas, which I'm not mad at, but we bring him off the bench. Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, and Aaron Gordon has been playing very well at the 4, by the way. Then you have the anomalies. You got the Boston Celtics. But like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule. Okay, you got teams like that. Then you look at the New York Knicks. Kate Karl Anthony Towns. Then you have a Mitchell Robinson coming in. Their team dynamic is built around Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart. Okay? If you don't have a dynamic like that, you might need a two-man front lineup that's pretty big, in which we don't have. We don't have either. We don't have that, and we don't have the scoring dynamic right now. We can put up points when we down 20. Now, I'm not saying the too big front lineup is the end-all, be-all. But damn it, we see what we got, and it ain't working. So we got to try something else. The teams I named that don't have the two big lineups, like the two big men in the lineup, it's been working for them, though. Because the teams I brought up, it's been working. But we sitting here just like, yeah, we gonna just continue to do what got us in the playoffs in 2023. And that shit ain't cutting it no more in the league right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't even have a great small ball lineup. The Golden State Warriors have a great small ball lineup. They can make it work. Hell, the Boston Celtics could make it work. But like I said, there's always exceptions to the rule. The Sacramento Kings, we don't have that exception, and we don't have that gosh damn rule. Yeah, that made no damn sense. Live with it. Now, the last part of the round, I'm going to say this. Coming into this season, if we decide to run it back with this roster, do not be surprised if we are the 11th seed in the West. 11. Which means out the play-in. Let's take a look, shall we? Phoenix Suns, out the play-in. San Antonio Spurs, out the play-in. Those two teams right there. Let's just stop right there. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the San Antonio Spurs. But you telling me the San Antonio Spurs, the healthy San Antonio Spurs team is going to miss at least the play-in next year? Who are they going to replace? I mean, even though Kyrie's coming back late, you know what I'm saying, January, February, Dallas still has a roster to at least make the play-in. The Minnesota Timberwolves have, you know what I'm saying, at least have a chance to make that top 5. Then you have teams like the Clippers, the Warriors, Memphis, Denver, Lakers, OKC, Houston. And you sitting here telling me with this current roster, we can make the top 10? If you are delusional, look, I am no longer delusional. If you are delusional to the fact that you think that this team can make a fucking play-in run, you are on crack cocaine and you need to go to AA, damn it. Sayonara.